Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to News Dose. And we do have that PlayStation State of Play later today. This is actually being recorded before that, so we'll talk about that one tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully some Final Fantasy 16 news will be there. But beyond that, we do have some different things to talk about today, including the rise of subscriptions. We did get some information from the UK, and yeah, Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation are doing some pretty good things with their subscriptions, so we'll talk about that later on in the video. And then also, it looks like an Xbox studio might be teasing an upcoming reveal for that Xbox Bethesda showcase later this month, so make sure to stay tuned for all of that as well. Per usual though, if you do find yourself enjoying the video, go and hit that like button below, and while you're at it, go and hit that bell notification and subscribe button as well. That way you can keep up to date with all of the latest gaming news. Other than that though, let's just go and jump right into things, starting off with that next Dragon Age game. Now, I would love to sit here and tell you that the next Dragon Age game got its full-blown reveal, or that it will be revealed later this month. But sadly, I can't do that. However, with that said, I do have some good news, as we did get a small update from BioWare today as they unveiled its name, which is Dragon Age Dreadwolf. The game itself is apparently titled after a character, and they did give him a brief summary, as you can see here. Solus the Dreadwolf. Some say might be an ancient elven god, but some say not. Others say a betrayer of his people, or a savior who now seeks to rescue them at the cost of your world. His motives are inscrutable and his methods sometimes questionable, earning him a reputation as something of a trickster deity, a player of dark and dangerous games. So there you have it. This isn't really much new information to go by, but if you're interested in the lore in the Dragon Age universe, or if you're looking forward to what the next story can bring, this might be able to tide you over until later this year, which is actually the real reason I wanted to talk about this today. That to me was actually the more exciting part here, because BioWare did note that they will be talking about Dragon Age Dreadwolf later this year. So on one side, that does unfortunately mean that this game's not going to be revealed at the Summer Game Fest, though I don't really think that there was much expectations that it would be. But knowing that new information is right around the corner sometime in 2022 is definitely good news, and this could be the beginning of more frequent Dragon Age updates. Next up though, we do have yet another Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 update, as its big reveal is now set for June 8th. Yeah, just go ahead and mark this one down for the increasingly busy month of June, aka the gamers' holiday. But yeah, they are going to fully unveil Modern Warfare 2 on June 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, what's kind of interesting about this, though, goes beyond just the gameplay itself, but also what platforms it's going to be available on, because by all indication, it does appear that Call of Duty might be set to return to Steam once again. Now, considering Activision does have their own PC storefront, being Battle.net, of course, they stopped releasing Call of Duty on Steam years ago, and I believe that World War II was actually their last Steam release. That was back in 2017, so it's been 5 long years since we've seen a Call of Duty game on Steam. But it does look like Activision has had a bit of a change of heart here. Recently, Modern Warfare 2's artwork did pop up on Steam, sparking some speculation of its return, but now it really just all but seems confirmed by this point, because on top of that, after the official Call of Duty account tweeted Modern Warfare 2's reveal date, Steam's official account then responded with the eyes emoji. So it does kind of seem like they're teasing something here. This actually might be a good sign for some other Steam Activision games as well, like Diablo 4 or even Overwatch 2 as an example. I mean, Activision, they do seem to be a little more open to this stuff right now, and we do know that Xbox, which is acquiring Activision Blizzard, they're a big supporter of Steam, so who knows what the future holds for Activision Blizzard's PC games. But regardless, this is a very smart move, as Steam is the biggest PC storefront, and yeah, it's also good for fans as well, as there's a reason that fans love Steam just so much. Now, actually, speaking of Xbox, a moment ago, they did announce the Xbox Games with Gold lineup for the month of June, and by this point, you know not to necessarily get your hopes up too much with any of their lineups, but we are going to take a quick look at what they have to offer for the month of June. As you can see here, it includes Avon Colony, Project High-Rise Architects Edition, Super Meat Boy, and then Rascals. Now, I can't really say too much about this lineup here, but I will say that there's one good game here. No, actually, strike that, there's actually one excellent game here, and that would be Super Meat Boy. I'd actually go so far to say that this is probably in my top 10 2D platforming games ever made. It really is that good. It's a very challenging game, but it's also extremely rewarding, and it never feels frustrating because of how its mechanics work. So if for whatever reason, if you haven't played Super Meat Boy and you do have Xbox Live Gold, absolutely download this game. But there you have it. There's your June lineup. Let's go ahead and talk about game subscriptions, though, because one thing that we are starting to see in the game industry right now is the rise of game subscriptions. Of course, we've already had services like Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus for years and years, but now what we're kind of seeing is that there's these game subscriptions that offers a catalog of games. Of course, you have Xbox Game Pass, but then you also have Nintendo Switch Online with its retro game catalog, then you have EA Play, and now even with Sony, they're adding PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. So a lot of these platform makers and publishers, they're jumping into these subscription services right now, and, well, there's a reason for this, and that's because gamers are absolutely buying into these services, and that's more evident now than ever before thanks to some new UK data. So this is coming from a UK communications regulator, Ofcom, which released its Online Nation 2022 report, and the results for subscription services were nothing short of impressive. According to them, a whopping 58% of all UK gamers were subscribed to a game subscription service during Q4 of 2021. And all about that, all of the big three are putting up some pretty impressive numbers here. The leading game subscription in the UK is in fact PlayStation Plus with 3.2 million subscribers. Then you have Xbox Game Pass with a very impressive 2.6 million subscribers. Now, considering Game Pass is both more expensive and it's newer, it is rather impressive to see it kind of close in on PlayStation Plus so soon here. Though at the same time, it'll be interesting to see whether or not PlayStation Plus sees a dramatic increase with those new incoming tiers. That will be a really fun story to follow, and if we do hear about that, I'll kind of keep you updated. But Game Pass continues to do very well, as you can see here, and that doesn't even include Xbox Live Gold, which adds another 1.5 million subscribers. So Xbox alone in the UK has 4.1 million subscribers between their two services. Though at the same time, I think it's pretty clear by this point that Xbox, they want Gold subscribers to kind of transition into Game Pass. On one side, it's good to see that Game Pass has surpassed Xbox Live Gold, but this also kind of tells you that they still have a lot of room to grow Game Pass with that transition from Gold to Game Pass. Now, Nintendo, though, they're also doing really good work over there as well, only slightly behind Xbox Live Gold, as Switch Online has 1.49 million subscribers. Now, standard Switch Online is much cheaper than any of the other subscriptions on the market, but Nintendo, they seem to be having some success with that as well, and you know, this allows them to invest into this service even more. I mean, we just saw them do that last year. They did expand with the Nintendo 64 expansion, and rumors are heating up that they will do that once again later this year with Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. I do hope that that's true. I'm going to cross my fingers for that. But really, with all three of the platform makers having these subscription services and you're seeing them have success here, I mean, 58% of all UK gamers are subscribed to a gaming subscription service. Yeah, it's pretty easy to see why they're trying to build these attractive subscriptions. Of course, though, this is only in the UK, but still, I have to say that this is impressive nonetheless. Now, I do know and I understand that not everybody necessarily likes these services, but they're certainly on the rise right now, and I think that that's only going to increase this generation even further. I mean, as Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, they all build their own services throughout this generation in their own unique ways. It's pretty inevitable that they will continue to grow throughout this generation. But yeah, let me know about you all. Do you like the idea of these subscriptions growing throughout this generation, or are you somebody that's against these subscriptions? Let me know in the comments below. On to our final topic of the day, though, more hype for the Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Bethesda Showcase. You know, we don't really know what to completely expect to be here, but things are slowly coming in, setting some expectations on some potential reveals, and that might just include one of Xbox's newly acquired studios, Obsidian Entertainment. I really think that out of all of the studios that Xbox has recently acquired, there has been a very enthusiastic excitement for Obsidian specifically. I mean, really, they have been one of the best RPG studios for years and years, but the thing about them is that they've also lacked budget and funding in several situations. So now that they have Microsoft's full support, their full funding, there's now some hope that they'll fully reach their potential this generation. And well, if anything, they do have a lot going on over at that studio. We'll kind of get back to that here in just a moment, but the reason that we're actually talking about them today is because Josh Sawyer, a studio design director over at Obsidian Entertainment, is seemingly hinting that they could be at the Xbox Bethesda showcase. There's not really much to go off here other than just a simple retweet that I'll kind of include on screen here, but a lot of the times when you see developers do something like this, they're actually kind of letting their fans know that, hey, there might be some news coming from them that you might want to pay attention to. Though that is the thing about them because, as I said before, Obsidian, they do have a lot going on right now. Obviously, they're working on games like Avowed and then also The Outer Worlds 2, but what I do find interesting about this specific tweet here is that it's actually coming from Josh Sawyer. And that's important because from everything that we do know currently, he is directing his own game codenamed Pentiment. It's supposed to be some type of smaller scale investigative RPG, and just based off some of the things that we've heard about this game, it kind of makes me think about games like Planescape Torment and Disco Elysium. I do kind of wonder if we're going to see one of those classic RPGs like that where it does have a heavy focus on its narrative rather than its combat, though for me personally, I'm all for that. I do hold stories and narratives in high regard, so I'd be interested in that, but at the same time, again, Obsidian, they do have 2 other big games in development. He could easily be teasing a gameplay reveal for something like Avowed. Now, I don't think that The Outer Worlds 2 will be quite ready to show just yet. I think that's still a little further out, but I do think that it is highly possible that we could get a reveal of something like Pentiment or Avowed, if not both, at the Xbox Bethesda showcase. I think Obsidian Entertainment might have a prominent role here. For that matter, I think that we're just going to see much more gameplay at this year's Xbox Bethesda showcase compared to what they showed last time. Last year, they did reveal a lot of CGI trailers, just kind of letting fans know exactly what they're working on, but I think that now that they've had more time to actually develop these games, there's a very good chance that we see updates for several of those previously announced games. To me, the questions really comes down to which ones. Avowed, to me, that does sound very likely here. I think that it's pretty far in development. Starfield, of course, that's pretty much a guarantee. Same thing with Redfall. Then maybe we could get an update for Perfect Dark or Fable, possibly. Forza Motorsports 8, that's also another possibility with it rumored to be releasing later this year. And then there's also Contraband. It would be really nice to get an update on that game to see exactly what it is. But I do think that we will get several updates on previously announced games alongside a few surprises here and there. But let me know what you all think about all of this. What game are you most hoping to see at the Xbox Bethesda showcase? And also, whether or not you would like to see an RPG made by Tom Sawyer similar to games like Planescape Torment and Disco Elysium. Let's go take a look at the poll of the day, though, where I asked you all about Sonic Frontiers. We did finally get its big gameplay reveal yesterday with 7 minutes of gameplay thanks to IGN, and I was a little bit mixed on what we saw. So I wanted to know exactly what you all thought. And well, based off the results here, it does seem like you all are rather mixed on this as well, with 21% saying that you liked what you saw from Sonic Frontiers, 25% of you all was not pleased, and then 44% of you voted that you need to see more. That's actually where I kind of fall in here as well. And as I said yesterday, I think it looks like it could be fun, but at the same time, my problem really just comes down to just how jarring it looks at the same time. Like, everything just kind of felt out of place. There's just random rails floating in the sky. There's ramps and springs scattered everywhere in this, like, deserted forest island place. And it just lacked any type of cohesion. It just didn't really fit in, and it's just like, really? Why is this stuff here in the first place? It just doesn't make any sense. At the same time, though, I don't think that it looks like it's necessarily not fun. I think that it potentially could be fun. It's just strange is basically what I'm trying to say, and I personally need to see more. I'm just not necessarily sold on what we've seen so far, and as some of you all pointed out in the comments, maybe once we start to see some combat and how some of its puzzles and platforming works, maybe then things will start to click a little bit more. That's what I'm hoping for personally, and actually, hopefully, there's other areas and biomes as well. I do think that the realistic setting itself is pretty, but I am hoping that it has some variety as well. Either way, though, IGN will be covering Sonic Frontiers all month long, so I'm sure that we'll see plenty more as June goes on. Anyways, though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.